Hi, today's video is going to talk about what is happening with the student loan servicers. The second one has quit now, and my predictions for what this means Biden might do for student loan borrowers. If you're with Fed Loan Servicing or with Granite State, what are some of the actions you can take to save yourself from future pain and time wasted of having to miss documentation and deal with the transition of these servicers, right? So, big news came out. The second major federal servicer called Granite State has now stepped down right after Fed Loan has stepped down. So, Fed Loan is the largest servicer that manages the public service loan forgiveness program. And they manage 8.5 million borrowers. Granite State manages about 1 million. So this will put about 25% of student loan borrowers in transition between servicers. This is going to cause major chaos because number one, we're getting re-kicked. We're basically getting kicked back into repayment and have to make student loan payments in September. Now we're throwing in this huge quirk of about 25% of people confused, not knowing who their loan servicer is to add to the chaos of all this, right? So my prediction is Biden will probably extend the student loan pause into 2022 because of all this chaos, although he says he's waiting on Congress for guidance rather than trying to understand how to solve the chaos that's happening with the student loan program. Of course, 67 Senate Democrats sent Biden a letter telling him, please pause the payments because of the impending chaos and the structural problems with our loan forgiveness programs. So I share this with you all because this highlights and points to a high likelihood that pause payments will be extended. But I also wanted to take a few minutes of time sending out this quick update to mention that if you're with Fed Loan Servicing or with Granite State, what are some of the actions you can take to save yourself from future heartache in terms of pain and time wasted of having to miss documentation and deal with the transition of these servicers, right? First and foremost, pull every single statement you can get off of your loan servicer site. Pull off any communication you have done, download any communication you have done with your servicer through the secured messaging app, copy, cut, and paste those messages or image screenshot them. I would also go to annualcreditreport.com, download your credit report, because what tends to happen is when there's servicer transfers, things don't work very smoothly. And sometimes they'll report late payments, missed payments, things that don't actually transpire. So especially if you're in a good standing with your student loans, go ahead and document all your communications, all your paperwork with them, as well as go ahead and download your credit report from annualcreditreport.com so that you could document what was your standing prior to the servicers being switched, so that if anything were to occur, you have all your documentation in place. In general, whether you're filing into a loan plan or not, we really highly recommend that you save all your student loan paperwork, because what the law says is the burden and the proof of filing paperwork and getting into these programs and managing federal student loan programs falls on you as the borrower. So we already tell people if they file into programs and we assist them with their paperwork to make sure that they save that paperwork, save if they have a conversation with their student loan servicers to document it, write it down, write down the employee ID, follow up with letters in writing if there's any issues, because just verbally calling in, things don't get documented properly. So I'm saying all this because this especially applies if your current servicer is Fed Loans or Granite State and they're going to change servicers. We have no idea what's going to happen. There might be more servicers resigning. So that's still yet to come. But it seems like there's a lot ensuing and a lot of momentum. It seems like there's a lot ensuing and a lot of momentum from Congress pushing Joe Biden to do something greater. He is still against blanket forgiveness. So I'm not expecting that he will be giving any type of blanket forgiveness, but the more servicers that resign, I think it goes to show the incredible amount of pressure being put on them to perform their jobs better. By the way, with very low pay, they make about $2 per month. They make about $2.52. I think that's the exact amount per month per student loan borrower they service. So if you think about that, that's about $24 a year. So they make $24 a year off of servicing your student loans. And the system is just broken and has so many issues. So every time you file paperwork, if you make phone calls to them, do whatever, that eats up a bunch of human labor time. They probably have a hard time covering their expenses and managing the ever increasing policy and rules. It's hard to train people, let alone answer all these student loan questions. And then, of course, when they don't service and provide a good service, then student loan borrowers complain to the FTC, and then they get in trouble, get fined. So they're probably losing money servicing federal loans, and the federal government has made it way too complicated. So I think the federal government should go our route and automate and tech enable a lot of these processes so that it's not incumbent upon the call center based approach. And a lot more services are available online, and a lot more questions can be answered online in an accessible format rather than just all this legalese, right? But I can critique all day long on improvements that the system needs to make. But we're here for you. So if you have any issues that arise in this transfer, just download your documents. And then if you want to continue to get lower payments past 2022, regardless of whether the payment pause is extended or not, you've been impacted by COVID, our team is on standby to help you manage this process so that you can achieve your financial success regardless of who your servicer is, or regardless of the future of the federal student loan program. Let us know if we can help. I hope you enjoyed this update. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. So many people are watching the video and is not subscribing. So we'd really appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks.